Welcome 2023. So we're starting off the year. I know it's midway January, but here with the wagon. And today we're gonna be working on one of my favorite cars. So we're gonna be bagging the Model Y today. This is my cousin's car. And we got new wheels for it. And the air suspension. So hopefully all that wheel gap is gone by the end of today. So we'll show you the setup that we got going, and stay tuned, see how this looks when it's done. And of course, the wagon always looking good. So we got the Model Y all wired up. No airline ran, just all the management wires and powers for the compressors, all that stuff. So I'm gonna plug it in and just make sure that the system turns on. Ran the remote to the center console here. So we'll see now. All right, pressing the brake. There we go. So it's working. So we just gotta obviously go through that prompt when we have everything set up. But that's good to go. And on to the struts next. I already have the front jacked up. He's working on the front setup there. So this should be done very soon. I just jinxed myself. And of course we have FlyyAir struts for the Model Y. Don't mind the box. I was painting the garage with a spray gun and it got disgusting. Love the colors of these struts. Here's the front strut, and this is the all-wheel drive. It's a long range, so it has the space for the axle. So it's just like the factory where it has the separate bag and the strut, and then the fronts, and it's all bellows, so it should ride really, really good. All right, so the bag is on. The airline is ran with the hard line, or not the hard line, the steel braided line and the thing. And then we have the sensor wire. We're not gonna install the sensors today because we don't have time. So I just tucked it away there. So I'm gonna put the new wheel on this side. So he got the 21 Uber turbines from the Performance. Those are what, 20s? The stock ones? No, the stock ones. So we'll see how that looks when it's aired out. So rear strut and bag is on. So now we're just missing to run the airline and the wire for the height sensors. So we just have to run that after, but not hard. Two 14mm bolts, and then the spring comes out there. So when you get the rear bag, it comes obviously the rear bag, the bracket that goes in the bottom, and then this stud. This stud you have to cut down. So I'm just put it in all the way. And then keep in mind you have the arm that goes there, then this, and then the nut. So you want to leave a little bit of extra space. So I'm gonna cut it with that in mind. So there, now it's cut to probably the right size because there's still space for that bracket, the arm, and then the nut obviously that holds on there. So we have the sensor mounted here to the control arm, and then this is what I was talking about for the nut when you cut it for the stud that holds the bag. So you can see everything set up there, ready to go. Line to the bag, zip tie that up so it doesn't hit the axles, and we're good to go here. So it was getting way too cold outside, so we brought the car inside so we can finish. We're just missing the right rear and all the sensors, but I don't know, we're gonna get to the sensors today, but that's all we're missing. So the front basically is done, rear left is done, and then the new Uber turbine, I think they're called, wheels are on this side, and like I said, this side is the only one missing. I just gotta see if we adjusted the front. You know. What is it like that? I don't know. Oh, that's on my side. So this is how the rear bag looks with the bracket on the bottom, all tightened, and we have the fitting facing the front. So we got the sensor mounted here like that, because the bracket we were using on the other side we didn't have anymore, so we had to play with this one a little bit different, but down to the control arm with the spacer there. So hopefully these are in range. I know the rears we have to readjust and make them a little bit shorter, because when it was aired down, which pushes the arm up, it was out of range. So we gotta make them a little bit shorter, and then it should be good to go. So we mounted the management here, so we want to remove the front. He can take that out without having to take out all the air lines and airing out the car. So that's there. Wiring for the battery, and the air lines coming in through there for the right side, for the left side, and then the right side coming in through this, obviously. So it's nice tucked away there, basically. It's gonna look good. So we use two 10mm screws there, or nuts, for each relay for the compressors and the management. And this is the setup. Manifold there, obviously plugged into power, and then the air lines and sensor lines are coming out of there, going to that side for the left side, and then from there out there for the right side. And then we just got to put all this in. The reason we went for the manifold there is because if he needs to remove the frunk for any reason, he doesn't have to disconnect all the air lines, just the tank and compressors, which we did these like basically quick disconnects, so you can just disconnect them easily and it just pops out. So it should be real easy if he has to access all this to remove that. So you see this nice tucked away. This, take it out and put it back on. As it would look over. Look at that. This one is not connected because we are missing the fittings to finish it so that it's symmetrical. So that's why that one is like that, but it's easy. Just gotta take that out, do that there. And it should close, hopefully. It's kind of tight, Andy.
That's how it is usually.
So the Model Y, all the calibration is done. The sensors are installed correctly. So you can see instead of just the pressure, it has these in the middle. So you can just hit those and it's always gonna hit preset perfect. So this is basically, that's the drive height, that's automatic set. And this is the high height. So it goes really high. And then goes nice and low. So that's the setup. We have the polished 4-gallon, a black 2.5-gallon that he had, and then the 2 compressors with the water traps there and there. So it looks good.